Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. Alright you guys, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about today and most of it is a downer. Let's start with our serious subjects. The Bring Back Our Girls movement. You guys all pretty much know, if you're on Instagram or Twitter, it's been a big campaign to push forward this issue. In Nigeria, there were over 200 Nigerian girls between the ages of 12 and 15. I've actually heard ages younger than 12. And I've actually heard over, somewhere around 300 girls actually. There was a terrorist, like an extremist group by the name of Boko Haram. They took over the school, broke into the school, and kidnapped all the girls. They started shooting. They started looting, they took food, they took animals, I understand, and they took these young girls with the intention of selling them off as sex slaves or having them marry, African men. Just truly a tragedy. And when I first heard about it, just kind of lets you know how naive you are to how terrible things are in other parts of the world. I couldn't imagine something like that happening in the United States. So Boko Haram means Western education is sinful. So evidently this group is against Western civilization and our Western ways and views. I have been hearing about it. Originally, I wasn't paying much attention to it, but it seems like it's gotten to almost 3 weeks now, and maybe even longer than that. And the Nigerian government is finally starting to, act. People are frustrated with the Nigerian government. And feeling like they weren't really taking these women, the parents of these girls seriously. And I hate to think it, but if they didn't put so much pressure and keep it out in the media so much, this is something that may have been even swept under the rug and just not even handled. So some of the parents of these girls, they got together this group called Bring Back Our Girls, and their number one focus is to bring these children back home, to their families. They're saying that some of the girls have already been sold off, some for as low as $12. My daughter is 13. I can't even imagine what these mothers and fathers are going through, just knowing that their children are out, not knowing if they're going to get them back or, what condition they're going to be in when they get them back. Some of the girls that were taken did escape. I think they said somewhere around 40 girls were able to escape, but the majority of the girls are still gone. I don't even know if they know for sure that these girls are still alive, or if they've been sold off, or who's been sold off, or what. Yeah, just a terrible situation. I was listening to the radio this morning, and there's a lot of Nigerian communities here in the United States. They're all putting on pressure for the U.S. government to get involved. President Obama has said that we will get involved. There's a lot of times when I get sort of frustrated with everybody in the world thinking that the United States has to come to everybody's rescue. Yes, I know that we are leaders of the free world and this, that, and the other, and sometimes it does bother me that we're expected to just come to the rescue, but in this case, definitely so. These are children. I don't know what we can do. I don't know how they're going to do it, but, these children who cannot speak for themselves, who cannot fight for themselves, obviously their government is not necessarily feeling the importance of getting the girls back home, or if they are, they waited way too long. I guess it is time for the United States to be involved. Just wanted to let you guys know. I'm sure you all know about it already, but just definitely wanted to bring that to top of the blogs. And you guys leave your comments below if you are Nigerian or African. I'd like to hear, your feelings about this especially. But yeah, we're gonna pray that these girls all make it back home. Ooh, you guys, I forgot I got a meeting I gotta go to. Let me, this might be an abbreviated top of the blogs today. I saw on the news that Monica Lewinsky has come out from underground. She has turned 40 years old, and with her turning 40, she's realized that she's got to take charge of her life and not live as a hermit. You guys all remember who Monica Lewinsky is back in the days when Bill Clinton was the president. It's, damn, 18 years ago. Okay, she was 22 years old when she was in a relationship with Bill Clinton, a consensual relationship. She's making sure that everybody knows that. I mean, we already know that. I mean, you can't fucking force a man to, you know, what, you was gonna hold him down and give him a blowjob? Like, really? I'm sure Bill Clinton was all there. You know, she was in this relationship with him. Obviously, it was, you know, not the right thing to do. He's the president of the United States. He's married. Okay, all these little things that should have stopped him from doing that. She was an intern, quite impressionable, I'm sure. Made a very big mistake that has, you know, changed the course of her life. She's to the point now where she wants to have a different ending to her life, she says. So she is not going to hide away. She's not going to not talk about it, because we really haven't heard much about Monica Lewinsky. I mean, of course, it was a big thing after, you know, after it all happened. She was everywhere for a minute, but not necessarily the best publicity for her. I remember seeing something about her making handbags and everything, but nothing really took off of the girl, and finally we just didn't really hear from her anymore. However, her name is very, very common, and we all remember who Monica Lewinsky is. She said that, you know, she's been trying to keep a low profile just out of respect for, you know, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, you know, kind of wearing the scarlet letter, knowing that she was the one, you know, who kind of, you know, took the nation off its path for a little while. She knew that, you know, Hillary Clinton was running for president. She didn't want to, you know, fuck that up for Hillary. And I mean, you know, I'm sure she has the guilt of being in that situation. Just all of it. Okay, she's just like, you know, now Hillary might be running for president again. What am I supposed to do? Wait 5 more years before? I mean, fuck, I'm going to be 55, 60, 70 years old before I'm, you know, finally trying to live my own life. Can't blame her at all. The article is actually, she had an interview with Vanity Fair, if I didn't say that already. Just watching it on the news, you know, it just kind of gave you a different view. I mean, I always kind of felt sorry for her. I always felt like she was railroaded, which we already knew was going to happen. Men and women, you know, in affairs, when they're caught, it's always a different outcome for the man versus the woman. And this, especially in this situation. So Monica's had a tough life. She has not been able to find really a job. She did get her master's, they said, in I forgot what she got it in, but whatever it was, nobody would hire her because her name is, you know, it's just synonymous with a whole bunch of, you know, scandal. I don't even know why she didn't change her last name, even though we all know who Monica Lewinsky is. I mean, just looking at her. But I just would always wonder why she didn't try to change her whole kind of, you know, name and all of that, and live a different life. But you know, people want to live their own lives, so I mean, I guess I can understand that as well. I mean, good for Monica. Okay, it's time to come out. It's really not fair that she had to bear, you know, 98% of the burden of having an affair. Okay, because, you know, bottom line is Bill Clinton was a married one. Bill Clinton definitely knew better, way more than a 22-year-old girl. I mean, she's got stars in her eyes. I mean, she's fucking the president, or at least, you know, giving him blowjobs. So, you know, this is something, you know, you just understand a little bit more of what she was doing, and I think unfairly we probably cast that girl aside and, you know, treated her bad. So yeah, Monica is coming on out. She might be taking up, you know, some deals and you know, telling her story a little bit more, and I'm not mad at her. I thought it was funny when she was talking in the interview and she brought up Beyonce, just to let you guys know. Okay, 6 degrees of separation. It always works around the Beyonce some kind of way. She was saying how Beyonce said he Monica Lewinsky'd all over my gown, and she was just like, well, really, if we was verbing here, okay, it would really be he Bill Clinton'd all over my gown. Okay, even the fact that they used her name in such a negative way about somebody, you know, coming on somebody's dress, she was just like, yeah, I shouldn't have been the fall guy. So yeah, like I said, Good luck to Monica Lewinsky. You guys tell me your opinions on Monica. If you have any sympathy for her, do you care one way or the other? Leave your comments below. I don't really know what bone Mike Epps has to pick with Kevin Hart, but he keeps coming for him, and it always makes him look like he's a hater. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Mike Epps did a radio interview the other day, and somebody asked him who did he think was a comedian that was overrated right now. And instead of him just, you know, coyly just declining to comment on that, because you guys, I have my feelings on people who do the same thing, who critique each other. I just don't think it's cool. I'm not ever going to talk about another YouTube personality. And I just think that if you're a comedian, you probably shouldn't talk about another comedian. If you're a singer, you shouldn't talk about another singer. You know, you're in the same medium. Obviously, the competition is there, so it's never going to make you look like you are, you know, really being, you're really being non-biased. It's always going to look like you got a little bit of hate in you. So that's why I think that people shouldn't even do it. My own personal opinion is Kevin Hart is not that funny anymore. Kevin Hart used to be hilarious to me. I think that, you know, Kevin Hart is now having to appeal to a larger audience and having to tailor his comedy to, you know, that. It happens to all of them, okay? Eddie Murphy is not the same Eddie Murphy that we got in the Raw and the Delirious days, okay? You just have to, you don't have to, but, well, you do. You have to. If you're trying to appeal to a mass audience, you just can't be so raw and hardcore and in your face. Yeah, I don't think that Kevin Hart is all that funny anymore. He has his moments. You know, people like Kevin Hart. I actually like Kevin Hart, and I like Mike Epps. So I just wish that he would not do this, because yeah, like I said, it just makes him look like a hater. So, you know, they go onto Twitter and there's this big, you know, going back and forth. This time I feel like Kevin Hart, you know, kind of made Mike Epps look stupid. You know, he had some typos and shit was kind of hard to understand. And, you know, finally Kevin got to the point where he's like, tell me what this nigga is trying to say. Okay, I don't even know what the hell, he's just so excited. I can't even figure out what he's talking about. Then it turned personal for Mike Epps. He gets on Twitter and puts a picture up and says, me and my day one. It's a picture of him and his wife. And he says, me and my day one, you know, will never trade her in for a newer model with fame. And we know where that comes from, because everybody feels like, you know, Kevin Hart broke up with his wife when he was getting bigger and got, you know, a younger, newer model. Things that we've all said still. Finally, Kevin Hart had sense enough to just leave it alone. You know what? I'm trying to do something big here. You know, if you hating, I really don't have time for you. And, you know, he just needed to just kind of gracefully back out of that, because it was just going to get worse and worse. I had read on Baller Alert that, ironically, Mike Epps had just got into a big brawl where he hit a bitch in the face. Turns out that bitch that he hit in the face was his side chick, who had approached his wife while they were at some kind of function, I think at a bowling alley or something like that. And y'all gonna get enough of confronting, you know, Mike Epps will fight a woman. He called her a bitch and all that. So yeah, he don't have no problems with doing it. So yeah, y'all gonna stop trying him for sure. But it was ironic. Yeah, you got your day one and everything, but you fucking around on her too. So it's just like, what is the damn difference? I guess the difference is you staying with her. Whatever. I think that the Twitter beef is just ridiculous, and it does just room for everybody. Yes, there are times when you feel like somebody is overrated or somebody is getting way more credit than they should and all that, but you can't let that concern you, because that gets you off your track. Just keep your eyes firmly planted on the prize, okay? If you ain't trying to be all like, you know, stay focused, and it'll work out for you as well. You won't even know what everybody else is doing, because you're so busy trying to do what you're trying to do, okay? So yeah, I think it's ridiculous, and I think we can all say that these two are not friends, which is very unfortunate, but hey, it happens. So yeah, that's it on the Mike Epps versus Kevin Hart beef. Gala was this week on Cinco de Mayo. It's always exciting to see what everybody is going to wear to the red carpet, and, you know, for us to sit back and laugh or admire, ooh and ah, or whatever it's going to be. So today will be no different. I know what the Met Gala is about. Okay, it's all about fashion and costume and, you know, dramatics and, you know, trying to, you know, branch the two and you know, trying to be the most, do the most, even though we're trying to still keep in mind that this is a fashion event. Okay, so you just can't be up there just all willy-nilly crazy. Okay, every year somebody does something totally wrong. Last year, you guys know, Kim Kardashian was the poster child for you know, when bad things happen to good people. That damn dress she had on was something that we will never forget. It was definitely forgettable. This year we had some good ones and we had some bad ones. I'll tell you who I felt was the good ones. I'm so mad I didn't get this girl's name. She was a white chick. She had on this blue, navy blue dress that had flowers. It was two layers. So it had like a peplum up at the top, and then it was much fuller on the bottom, and it was navy blue, and it was like flowers silk imprinted onto the material. When you lift it up, it was silk flower. Oh my God, it was beautiful. I just cannot think of what her name was. Something very, very, very tight in the bodice, so her waist looked small, and it was just, I'm telling you, I think that was the best dress for me. I also thought that Sarah Jessica Parker's dress was beautiful. She had on the Oscar de la Renta dress, and the only reason why I know that is because he had signed the bottom of the back of her train of her dress. Very pretty again, something with the bodice very tight and narrow in the middle. I have a fascination with people with small waists, so I keep telling y'all, when I hit it big, I'm gonna get me one of them too. Also, Rihanna, I think Rihanna was another one that was best dressed to me. You know, she always does it right. Very, very rarely does Rihanna get it wrong. She has a perfect shape. She's tall, she's thin. You know, clothes just look good on her. They hang right on her. I thought it was very appropriate for her age, you know, to have something with her stomach out and you know, her back showing. You know, she's a very sexy girl, and I loved it. Rita Ora, I know that Rita Ora had on a Donna Karan Atelier dress, and it was gold, and it was very fairy tale like. At first I couldn't figure out if I liked it or not, but I did like her dress. I thought it was beautiful. One of the Jenner girls, was it Kylie or was it Kendall? I think it was Kendall. They had on a Topshop dress that was just really, really pretty. Again, I think that when you have that tall, lanky frame, not just bone thin, but when you have, you know, when you can pull off something like that, it looks nice on her. I thought that she looked good. So those were the ones that I just remember right off the top of my head that I thought was beautiful. My okays was Beyonce. I know that a lot of you guys loved Beyonce's look. Thought it was very avant-garde and, you know, different for her. She never, you know, steps out of her. That's just something that normally she wouldn't do, especially with the caged face and everything. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was bad. I thought, I don't even know, I think I might have liked it better than last year. I think she and Jay-Z looked very like a very handsome couple together. I like the way they look. Erykah Badu, you know, Erykah Badu is always gonna be Erykah Badu. I was surprised that she dressed up that much. You know, Erykah Badu would be like, fuck it and come in a damn Dr. Smock, okay, some jeans, and call it a day. So I was fine with Erykah. You know, it was just okay. It was very much her. And the same for Janelle Monáe. I actually thought that robe was beautiful. So I did like that, but you know, she just had on leggings and everything. Again, it was very Janelle Monáe-ish. So those were my okays. And then my horribles were Gabrielle Union. I did not like it. She just has one of those shapes that I don't think that it accentuated anything on her and what would have looked good, that looked good on her. I didn't like all them feathers and all of that. So no. Solange, Solange usually does well, but I didn't like her dress. I thought it was ill-fitting. I thought the color was pretty. It looked like when my mom used to make, like, my mom was a seamstress and she would make dresses, and it looked before my mom would go get them pressed. Like, it felt like the hems, it felt like the seams were all puffy, like it needed to be pressed down and flat. It just didn't look finished to me. It looked too big for her. And I didn't like it. I didn't even like her hair. I didn't like Solange's look at all. And of course, you know, we gonna have to talk about Lupita. Now, Lupita do get it right most of the time. I mean, Lupita hasn't even really been out long enough for her not to get it right. And like I said, I know that the Met Gala is something where they take chances and risks and, you know, really kind of step out of the box. She is the poster child for Prada and Miu Miu. I think that's what my girlfriend, my friend that works at Neiman Marcus was coaching me. It was a travesty. I think that we all agree that that was not the look. It was a caged dress, feathers going down the side. It kind of had like a flapper feel. She had like a headband around her head, you know, jeweled, and the caged dress part was jeweled, and she had on like a brown bodysuit. Just no. Somebody was like she looked like a fucking plucked peacock, and I really feel like she did. I don't know why they did that. Totally don't know, because, you know, this is an event where, I mean, she should have been, no. You can't come out as the most beautiful person, you know, and do something like that. Now, we all make mistakes. There's plenty of days when I do a video and I'll be like, girl, that hair is fucked up, that makeup is wrong, them clothes is no. Everybody's human. We can give her an A for, you know, just the fact that she was willing to come out and that she was, you know, confident in what she wore. But yeah, I think that this was a miss. This was a miss for me. So yeah, those were definitely my worst. You guys tell me what you thought about the fashions, and if you remember who that white chick was with that blue dress, navy blue with the white, y'all please leave her name below. And there were others, but yeah, those are the ones that stuck out in my mind. Okay, but let me know what you liked, didn't like, and what was the worst. Alright, you guys, everybody's all up in arms over the female writer, the black writer on Saturday Night Live, her past skit this weekend about the slaves. I still haven't seen the whole thing because I cannot get the shit to load on my phone. My internet at home is tripping, and I've seen most of it just to get the gist of it. People are very upset with her for the shit that she says, you know, basically that she would have been way more popular back in the slave days because she's a big, you know, strong woman, and that's what they looked for back then. My opinion is, first of all, I love Saturday Night Live. I know a lot of people say, like, who watches Saturday Night Live? I mean, I watch Saturday Night Live. I grew up on Saturday Night Live. You know, I don't even go out that much on Saturday nights anymore, so I'm usually, if I'm up, I will watch it. And then there were other times when I would get home from being out, and, you know, you just automatically see what's going on Saturday Night Live. So it's a show that I watch, and I was happy to know that they did hire some black people on there, because if I'm watching it, I want to see some representation of us. We are funny as well. I didn't realize that girl, I know who she is. I can't remember. Leslie? Was it Leslie Jones or something like that? I've seen her in stand-up before. I didn't know that was one of the writers that they hired for the show. She did a little part on there. First of all, I just didn't think it was all that funny. I don't think I was all that offended, but like I said, I'm liberal, and I kind of can take a joke or two and all of that. But I guess the bigger discussion would be the fact that, you know, that there is a template for the beautiful black woman, and I'm sure there are a lot of black women out there who feel that they don't fit that mold. They almost making us seem like we out of style, okay? It has become the exotic woman now, which is a lot of the reason why, I mean, not a lot of the reason, let me not say that, but you know, when we start getting weaves, and now we talking about all these different textures of hair, well, now it's getting to be popular where we have the kinky coily hair and everything, but more so people are buying Brazilian and Peruvian and Russian and Filipino, and it's just all these other looks, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that you know, no, I don't even want to start this discussion, but it's just, we think that is pretty. When I see that hair, and I'm one of those ones, when I see, you know, some Peruvian hair, you know, some good quality Indian hair, I think that's beautiful hair. I would like to have it in my head when I have a weave. It's a lot that goes to say with that. I'm not, you know, I'm not dumb enough to think that, you know, a lot of times we buy these things because of what we've seen in society thus far. But yeah, I think that's what the bigger discussion is why is it that the average black woman who might be bigger, who might be, you know, darker, who might have stronger features, or, you know, whatever it is, why are they not desirable. That's kind of how I felt about it. I didn't think it was all that funny. I didn't laugh, but I wasn't supremely offended as well. But I think it's a discussion that people can have, and I guess I'm opening it up for you guys to have it down in my comment section. Y'all let me know what you thought about her little skit. Eva and Kevin McCall talked about them so much, I don't even really know why we still talking about them. I guess what I can tell you guys about them is, you know, they have this new baby. And remember, I was telling you guys on the top of the blogs in the past that they got into an argument. Kevin McCall got to kicking down doors and shit, was trying to rip the baby from her arms. She called the police. There's a restraining order. He could not come within 100 feet of her. It looked like at one time they was going to work the shit out. They posted on Twitter or Instagram, you know, a picture of them looking like the happy family shortly after that had happened. So we kind of thought that maybe they were back on track. But then later, ultimately, we found out that the judge has granted her full custody of the child and no visitation for Mr. Kevin McCall. So I don't know what that's about. Very rarely, I think, judges just grant the father absolutely no visitation. Usually there may be supervised visitation, you know, somebody from the court, an official from the court that would, you know, monitor the situation. But in this case, they were just like, hell no, you can't go around it. So now I don't really know what that's about. What I do know is Kevin McCall is real pissed about it. He's in the Instagram and the social media just in general talking about how the women always use his kids against him. That right there lets you know that maybe there's been some drama with him, and because he has another baby. Well, I think the kid is older, 5 or 6 or something like that. But that'll let you know that maybe it was some bullshit in the past with that first one. So now we got this second one and the judge ain't having it no more. Yeah, I guess them two was, you know, it's definitely not working. They are not getting back together, and he ain't going to see his baby. I guess I'm going to have to talk about Apollo Nida and the fact that he pled guilty yesterday to the bank fraud charges that were up against him, the federal charges that were up against him. He is going to be going to jail for a long time. I think they took him when he turned himself in guilty. I'm not sure if he's in jail now or if he is going to go to jail. He's going to be sentenced on July 8th. And I think we can all count on the fact that he'll be in jail for some time. You know, this ties into my whole shit with Phaedra and Kenya. You guys, the fervor over all this Kenya shit, I already told you guys how I feel about it. People are still just leaving comments and wanting to talk about what's going on with, you know, Phaedra and how she didn't read Kenya, and how, you know, now that this has happened, now everybody's glad that it happened to Apollo, and you know, Team Twirl is they just can't even contain themselves. They so happy that they can finally stick it to Phaedra. I don't even really care. First of all, I feel like we didn't we know that Apollo was going to jail? That shit wasn't nothing. I mean, it was just a matter of time. So it wasn't a shock. Everybody's acting like they didn't know it was going to happen, like it was going to be this big thing. That's probably why he was cutting up the fool on that show, because he knew he was going to jail. I also feel like Phaedra already knew she wasn't going to be with him. I don't even know if Kenya even cares about Apollo that much. Not as much as we think that Kenya cares about Apollo. I mean, it served her well on the show, but yeah, I'm just like, I don't even care. I don't even want to talk about it in this video because I already know that's what you guys are all going to be talking about in my damn comments. But look, I'm going to let the Team Twirl have it. Okay, y'all can boast and brag all you want in the comments. Because, I mean, that's just the way of the world. I mean, you know, we all have a I told you so waiting in us. The way I feel about it is I feel sorry for him, just because that's the human part of me. But I also have to say that, you know, he knew what he was doing, and for him to do it the second time around when you're a celebrity this time just was not the smartest thing to do. I mean, just stupid. Not only that, is he didn't even need to do it. Okay, him and his wife are doing well. Maybe Phaedra doesn't give him access to the money or something like that, and he felt like he needed to do more. It could just be just regular old stone greed, y'all. Just a stupid nigga that want to get more money and think that they can get it the fast way. Well, it don't work like that. Okay, I think Apollo's learned that now. I think the person that's probably feeling pretty vindicated is Angela Stanton, although Angela Stanton has still been trying to go after Phaedra. Phaedra was not implicated in any way, and I think what that proves is that Phaedra is a very, very smart and astute lawyer. Smart enough not to get her hands dirty. I do feel like she knew what was going on. Just to have this type of money, and you know you not giving it to them, or it's not coming out of you guys' joint account. Like, where do you think all this money is coming from? So yeah, I feel like Phaedra knew, but for whatever reason, you know, he didn't put her in it. The government didn't come after her, and she's free and clear. So it'll be an interesting storyline for next season. People are saying that, you know, what's Kenya's storyline going to be? Well, I think Kenya's storyline is going to be Portia. Them two will still be going at it. I think Phaedra's storyline will be her divorce or separation, or her going through this, you know, as a mother of 2 children without their father and all. You know, so it's all kind of angles to it. So, I mean, that shit can work any kind of way. But yeah, Apollo is going to jail for quite some time. He gets sentenced on July 8th, and you know, ain't really nothing else I can say about it, but just damn Apollo. And while we talking about Kenya, we can just real fast talk about the fact that the Detroit public school system said that they ain't got no money from Kenya nor Nene. You guys remember that them two, when they were arguing on the stage for the Real Housewives reunion in part 3, Nene challenged Kenya to match in her donation to whatever charity Kenya chose, and Kenya chose the Detroit public school system. Detroit public school system said, we ain't seen damn piece of money, not a dime, okay? And we haven't heard from Kenya or Nene. I guess that really falls on Kenya, okay? Nene said that she would match Kenya's donation, so Kenya would have to be the one to do it first, and then I guess Nene would follow suit. Detroit public school system is just like, we ain't got no money, and you know, maybe they was just talking for the TV show, but you know, I have a feeling that Nene, just to stick it to Phaedra, Kenya a little bit more, will probably still donate something to the schools just to show that she's, you know, saving face. But we'll see. But I have a feeling that's how it's going to work out. So yeah, Nene, Kenya, I'm going to need y'all to get with Detroit public school system, write them checks. And I guess we're still talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, folks. I might as well talk about Portia and this sermon that she did some time ago, where she was being an evangelist and giving her opinion on the gays. I had saw this, one of my rock stars sent this video to me a long time ago, like I want to say right at the beginning of the first season that Portia was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 5. Somebody sent that to me and I saw it, and you know, I didn't think much of it. To me, the stuff that she said in there kind of was in line with the way she acted last season. I mean, you remember she was like, you know, she's not going in a strip club and she thinks it's wrong for men to see that and all of that. So it wasn't that shocking to me that she said that stuff on the sermon. Of course, it's bad for her now, because now she's, you know, kind of seeing the light, supposedly. The gays do support Real Housewives of Atlanta, very much so. The fact that she has her team of people around her, you know, doing her hair and things like that, you know, are including some gay people. And, you know, now that she wants to be this singer, she has a gay audience that's coming to pay to see her sing. I mean, the club that she just sang in just this past week was a gay club in New York City. So, yeah, not really the best time for her to be talking about you know, that being a lesbian and being gay is wrong, and this, that, and the other. What I feel is, okay, maybe the girl is growing, and maybe she realizes that the things that she said back then is not necessarily how she felt now. I feel like that's what it is. I also feel like she knows that where her damn bread is buttered, and bitch, you better get in line, okay? You can't be saying shit like that if you want to be spending the gays' coins, okay? The gays is what's helping you, so you best get with it. I mean, you don't have to. You definitely don't have to be supportive of the gays, but for what she's trying to do, I think that, you know, it wouldn't hurt. And it's funny that other people are coming out, speaking out against it. Cynthia Bailey has come out. You know, I think Cynthia Bailey is mad at her over the fact that she called her weak. And when Cynthia said that she didn't feel like Portia should have felt threatened while they were sitting on the couch. So now Cynthia's come out and said that it was, you know, mighty convenient of her to all of a sudden change her mind. But, you know, for her to say that, you know, the gays, that's sinful to be gay is, you know, unacceptable and things like that. So, you know, now Cynthia's got this thing, this beef with, well, it's not a beef, but she's got opinions on Portia when I think maybe she wouldn't have before. People are thinking that it's going to get her put off the show. I don't think it's going to get her put off the show if she is coming back, which what the rumor is, because you know, people are entitled to have their feelings. I mean, Nene is going off and on about the queen thing, okay, and you know, Peter is talking about, you know, a real man, and you know, people got things to say. It's been shady shit said about the gays, and you know, I mean, the gays, while they do have quite a bit of influence, I mean, the gays ain't running every goddamn thing. Or are they? Because if they are, y'all, then maybe I need to change my tune too. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, I mean, we can't get to the point where we start thinking like we can't say shit about nobody because everybody's got, you know, all these feelings and everything. So yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. So that's it. I'm saying, I'm so glad Real Housewives of Atlanta is through, and I'm through with it, y'all. Quit. I done used up all my lunch. Okay, let me run in here and get me something to eat real fast and get back to work. Y'all, we do this every week, okay? So make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.